Okay, so bear with me on this, right? So I need my script actually, but over the past year, while I was running this company and while we're all on our own journeys, we're all trying to figure out the future. I thought to myself, how can I be better as a boss? How can I be better, as an employer or just as a friend? And so public speaking is really not my thing. But
You're
and
doing
so
great, Andy.
thank you very much. And so I thought to myself, what if there was another way I could give back other than just a paycheck, just for money for you guys, investing your time in the business. And furthermore than just like the skills you get from, from doing the outside work, like the ladder work or that kind of thing. And so one thing that came to my mind that I was really passionate about was learning more about myself. And so probably about 6 months ago, 9 months ago, somebody could ask me, they're like, how much do you know about yourself? I'd be like, fuck, I know everything. I'm Andy Wild. I'll be here all week, But I went down a road of self-discovery and I was kind of like, oh shit, this is interesting. So if you want to participate, you can. If you don't, all good. On your paper, that's your paper. It's individual to you, because everybody's on their own individual journey. So Tristan's on a different journey than Sam, is on a different journey than Mitch. So you guys, what you're about to write on this paper, and it's going to be very simple, is your own. So keep it to yourself. You don't need to know what the other guys' is. Just keep it to yourself and just see how you feel as you fill this out. So on your paper, you're going to write out of 10, how much so I'm going to write, how much this is going to be for you guys. So how much do you know and the first one is going to be, how much do you know your vision? Out of 10. Just in your own mind, and it's really important that you be truthful to yourself. How much do you know your vision? How well do you think you know your vision? And that could mean different things to you. Just out of 10, how well do you know your vision out of 10? That could mean anything to you, in whatever way you interpret it. Okay. Just a number out of 10. The next thing is, out of 10, how much or how well, let's just say, let me change this mode. How well do you know your gift? Ah, okay, this is good for me, hearing that. How well do you know your gift out of 10? Be truthful with yourself. That's the most important part. Don't worry about other people's answers. Just worry about your own and being honest with yourself. Okay. How well out of 10 do you know your life goals? Out of 10. And that could mean anything to you. It could mean whatever you choose to interpret it as. And only you know your own journey. Only you know your own number. So we got 2 more out of 10. I didn't leave myself a lot of room here, but out of 10, how well do you know your purpose? How well do you know your purpose? And finally, the last thing, my favorite, I'll write it up here. Out of 10, how well do you know yourself? Out of 10. And maybe you know your number. Maybe you will go out into the field, you'll go home tonight or something, and you go, oh shit, maybe I gotta change my numbers, right? So when you were writing out each of these individual numbers, how did you feel about your number? Did you feel good? Like the emotion that you felt, did you feel happy about your numbers? Did you feel sad? Did you feel surprised by some of them? You're like, oh, that was a little lower than I thought, or a little higher than I thought. Right? So the purpose of this is to just be self-reflective. And whatever kind of tangible things you achieve in life, whatever kind of house you get or condo you get, whatever you drive, wherever you go, whatever kind of travel you want to do, whether you have all of that or you don't, you will always have your own character. And you can't unlearn your own lessons. Once you learn how to ride a bike, you can't unlearn that. It's just there. Sorry, you know how to ride a bike now. That's just the way it is, right? So when you look at your numbers, if you are happy with the placement of every single one of your numbers, then you don't need to worry about this at all. Right? If anybody is perfectly pleased with all the numbers they have and wherever they are, then don't worry about this. But if you look at your numbers, if you look at them all, or even if it's just a couple, even one, and you're like, that could be just a little higher, even one number higher, then this is something that I invite you to take part in. And at the end of the day, I get nothing out of this. Alec doesn't either. I just thought, how could we give back? How could we help self-discovery? Because when you build yourself, it only ever goes up, it never goes down. So again, everybody's journey is individual. The reason why I brought this up is because self-discovery has been really big for me, but it doesn't have to be a journey. You're not pushing a boulder uphill like David, right? And all that. I think it was David that did that. Not David. Somebody else.
It's a different, Sisyphus. Yeah, Sisyphus is in Greek mythology.
See, so I need to grow in that area, right? No, this is just an idea that I had. And so every Monday night, Wednesday night, I'll send a document out in the chat. And if you want to fill it out, you can, but it's your own. You don't need to send it back. Don't send it back. In fact, don't send it back. Don't send it to anybody else. You can just fill it out. And as you fill it out, it'll take like 5 or 10 minutes. And if you commit to filling it out every 5 or 10 or every Monday and Wednesday, you'll find answers and you'll find callings and you'll find interests. So does anybody know what a calling is? Yeah.
It's a very, at least in my experience, very Christian term.
Okay.
And it's like, calling is kind of like, you have like a certain field or place or thing that you just know that you're like moving towards and that you're going to spend a lot of your life doing.
That's it. That's perfect, Sam. So that's it, right? And the cool thing about callings or interests is that you don't pick your callings or interests. You don't just like wake up one day and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna really like knitting. It doesn't work like that. Seriously, or whatever it may be. It could be dirt biking, could be, I don't know, gymnastics, whatever, you name it, right? Fishing, who knows? Your callings pick you. And you change and grow based on how well you understand your calling. So if a calling comes to you and it's strong and you're like, hey, instead of letting this one fly by, I'm going to grab it and I'm going to act on it and I'm going to schedule it into my schedule or set an alarm. That's where growth comes in. Growth comes in when you're like, hey, this is something that appeals to me. If you act on that, you will grow and you'll change your life also. So if you guys are interested, I'll include you in a group. I'll send you a document every Monday night and Wednesday night, 5 or 10 minutes. Some might not even be that. Some might be 2. And if you do choose to fill it out, you may have a calling, you may have an interest come to you, you may find out something about yourself, but it can only be good. And so we can run it for a week or 2 or 3 or whatever and just see how it goes. And if it doesn't stick, it doesn't stick. That's all good. Does that appeal? And if it doesn't appeal, it's all good, but is that of interest? Medium? Well, you don't have anything to lose, right? So anyways, just a thought. We'll give it a go. If it doesn't stick, all good, but you know, you might learn some things as well. And that's it. Does anyone have any questions? Thank you.
So what sparked this, like, bringing this to work specifically?
This in particular, when I started finding out more parts about myself that I didn't know, that were just hidden under the blanket in the dark, whatever, and I started learning about myself, it wasn't really anything that I could show or hold, but I was like, it increased my confidence. It increased my ability to get over fear or get through fear, do things that I've been putting off, you know, the resolution that you make and then you break it on January 3rd, like get through that or do something new or achieve something new or be somebody you want to be. Like doing this really helped me improve like that. And like, it was really monumental in self-growth. And I was like, it would be sweet if I could help other people with this. If, you know, if you're interested, if you're not, it's all good. But, you know, it's something that could benefit. So that's that. Anything else? No? Okay, cool. Okay, I'll make a group and then we'll start it up.
Great. Thanks for sharing. Good job.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
You're killing it, man.
Thank you. By the way, there is a coffee